everyone, I'm Kristen Miller, Assistant Director of Communications for Shaker Heights Schools.
And I'm Jen Kuhl, Communication Specialist for Shaker Heights Schools.
And this is my co-worker at home, Cookie. We're here today to present the OHSPRA Crystal Award to our colleague Scott Stevens, the Executive Director of Communications and Engagement for Shaker Heights Schools. But first, we'd like to tell you a little bit about Scott.
Scott grew up in Pittsburgh and he studied journalism at Ohio University. After writing for a few news organizations in Florida, Washington, D.C., and Mexico City, Scott eventually landed a job covering local, state, and national education at the Cleveland Plain Dealer. It was a beat that he covered for 18 years. He was twice nominated for a Pulitzer Prize, in 2004 and in 2009. He was also the winner of the prestigious National Headliner Award for Education Reporting and received honors in beat reporting from the Education Writers Association. While he was a reporter, Scott also became involved in the News Guild, the country's then 30,000-member media workers union. He served as an elected vice president of the governing board, he revamped the union's diversity program, and he worked on campaigns to protect First Amendment rights.
After his career at the Plain Dealer, Scott stayed on in education but transitioned into public relations. He joined the American Federation of Teachers in Alexandria, Virginia, as the Assistant Director of Public Affairs, where he learned the ropes of crisis communication, something that's kind of come in handy in 2020. Scott then became the Executive Director of Strategic Communications at the Chicago Public Schools. There, he led a team that sought out stories from the district's 655 schools and 400,000 students and shared them across a variety of platforms. Finally, in 2015, Scott took his talents back to Cleveland, where he joined the Shaker Heights Schools as the Executive Director of Communications and Engagement.
Since Kristen and I have known Scott, it's so clear that his work in education is more than just a job. He is guided by a belief that education is a right and that all students deserve the same opportunities to succeed. Earlier this year, before any of us imagined that we'd be communicating about hybrid learning plans or long-term virtual learning plans, Scott was working on plans to oppose the state's expansion of Ed Choice. He coordinated Shaker Heights Schools Superintendent Dr. David Glasner's visit to Columbus, where he met with top state lawmakers and was the first district superintendent in Ohio to appear before the State Board of Education to speak out against Ed Choice. He also organized and led a group of nearly 20 Shaker Heights Schools teachers, board members, administrators, parents, and students to testify before the conference committee. Then he championed a campaign that flooded Ohio lawmakers with letters, emails, and phone calls, all from Shaker Heights families who decried Ed Choice.
The plan worked. On March 25th, the Ohio General Assembly unanimously approved a bill that would halt expansion of the Ed Choice voucher program. Lawmakers commented that the Shaker Heights voices made a difference, and they couldn't have done it without the passion and leadership of Scott Stevens. Jen and I nominated Scott Stevens for the Crystal Award because he committed his professional life to advancing the education of our country's children. Scott's also a dedicated family man who is devoted to his wife, Chris, their 3 adult sons, 2 daughters-in-laws, and their 3 grandchildren. And altogether, we think that's a pretty amazing career and life worth celebrating.
Congratulations, Scott. We're so glad you're receiving this award, and we're so proud to be your colleague.
Yay!
Congratulations!